Stories, the most interesting stories to get your day started. And we start there's a hilltop castle right here in the Valley of the Sun. Millions of people have seen it. You can't miss it as it sits on one of the few hills in the eastern part of our city. It's actually just a couple of miles from Sky Harbor Airport. It's called the Tovry Castle. It's just off the 202 freeway near 52nd Street and Van Buren. But detectives were called to the scene of the castle yesterday after a mysterious discovery was made on the castle grounds. We're talking about human bones. Now, I'm going to share with you some of the video of the castle and also of the, we can't call it a crime scene because there's no indication yet that a crime was committed, but obviously when you discover human remains, that is something that police are going to be looking into, particularly on a property that dates back a century. So there's an old shack on the property, and as construction crews started their work, things came to a sudden stop when parts of a skeleton were found. So there you see, crime scene response unit. And so the whole detective and investigative process begins to unfold. Sky Fox also flying overhead, getting a pretty good look at the police. Pretty substantial, to say the least. So there is an old shack on the property. I think you might be able to see it nearby here. But this statement from Phoenix Police is saying, it's pretty brief until they know more, that skeletal remains of an unknown person were located. The investigation now involves the medical examiner's office, which has plenty to determine. I mean, when you think about it, they've got all their standard forensic techniques. Oh, I like that. Take a look at that wider view right there because you can see it just off in the distance. Maybe that's a part of the city you're more familiar with, that huge postal facility. It looks like it's probably no more than just a few hundred yards away from the castle grounds. But they have the medical examiner's office on it. There are plenty of things to investigate, including how old are the bones? Is the skeleton mostly intact, or are the bones scattered? And are there signs of foul play or not? Now, if you're new to town and you have never heard of this castle, it's almost 100 years old. Back in the day when it was built, it was originally back in 1928. Almost 100 years ago, it was going to be part of a planned resort, but the resort was never built, but this castle was. And then a few years later, in 1931, of the Great Recession, the Italian immigrant who built the castle, Alessio Carraro, sold it to a wealthy cattle baron, a fellow by the name of E.A. Tovry. And ever since then, it has been known as the Tovry Castle. And so it was all the way back in the 1990s that the city began efforts to try to restore it. And that took several years to get it to the point where it could become the tourist attraction that it is today. And by the way, if you're not familiar with it, it is open for tours from September through the month of June. So there's the update, and any new developments, we're going to let you know about that as well. Well, the star of the show has arrived. Here she is, everybody.
Good morning. How are you?
Just great, Syleste. You know, it always takes, we have multiple studios here.
We do.
At Fox 10. It always takes a minute or two for Syleste to get over here. Syleste, I thought we would talk about the whole concept of tax the rich.
Apparently, it's popular on our poll, yes?
Yeah. Well, you know what's interesting is we have our YouTube poll. But we always like to start with our new poll, and we're going to get to it in a second. But here, basically, in a nutshell, is what the story is all about. And there'd been some speculation over oh, by the way, take a look at that.
Wow.
Happier times between the president and the man who runs the Federal Reserve.
I know. Well, it looks like a beautiful day in D.C. At least they got that going for them.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's interesting. That's Jay Powell there when he met with the president.
What do you think he's talking about right now?
Uh,
President's mouth is kind of open a little. It looks like he's saying,
if you don't lower these interest rates, you'll be lucky if you have a job.
yeah, do you want me to punch you in the face right now?
Do you remember that? Do you remember that old TV show that he had, The Apprentice? What was his favorite line?
You're fired.
And he's used it many times, that's for sure. But he's sending signals now to the Republic, and this is not a Republican talking point over many years, I can tell you that. But the idea, he says, I love the concept of raising taxes on the wealthiest people. He said his one concern is he doesn't want it to be used against him politically, because he says, I've seen people lose elections for less, especially with the fake news. He remembers when George H.W. Bush said, read my lips, no new taxes. And then we all know how that went. But basically, apparently, he had a phone call on Wednesday night with Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. Mm-hmm. And there are people, I think, in the president's ear who are saying, look, our country is drowning in debt. And we have got to do something to raise some revenue. You promised no taxes on tips. So we're going to move forward with that plan and just see what we can come up with in terms of raising revenue on the wealthiest Americans. And I think we're talking about people who make a couple of $1 million a year. So, it is sending shockwaves. And by the way, coming up a little bit later this morning, my once-a-week visit with Shannon Bream, Fox News Sunday.
She's so good.
We're big fans.
Yeah.
It's interesting to get her take because I said, tell me about the shockwaves. And she's like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening up on Capitol Hill. But Mike Johnson then, she said it's going to be tough to get it through because the margins are so thin. But when the president says, look, here's what I want done, generally the House comes right along. So let's go to, and I hope I got my message to Dean that we can use both of these polls. We just be sure we like starting with this one. And here's how it looks so far. And you can grab that QR code right now and vote yourself. So higher taxes on the wealthiest Americans. In this poll, 75% say good. They can certainly afford it. 25% say bad. Raising taxes is always a bad idea. So, Dino, if you can hear me, we can hop over to the YouTube poll. And we also have the results that if we can't show them on cam, you know what we can do, Celeste?
Dave the man.
The Dave cam. Here he is, everybody.
Dave the man cam.
Dave has access to all of this. Dave, how's it looking in the YouTube poll? Oops, hold on. Oh, I got it. There he is. Okay, Dave, go ahead and start over. Can you hear me?
And 5% say we could all pay a little more. This country is sinking in debt.
Okay, your mic was clipped right at the beginning. Can you go through it?
78% say good. They can certainly afford it.
And then,
and then 18% say bad. Raising taxes is always a bad idea.
Okay, so pretty close to what the other poll is showing. Did anybody say we could all pay a little more in taxes? We're drowning in debt?
Just 5%.
Okay. Well, we always have that third option, Celeste. It's kind of a deep thinker option.
Well, maybe they're thinking long term.
Right? Well, there is a contingent on Capitol Hill. Chip Roy is a congressman from Texas, and he's been pounding the table for quite a while saying, look, we got to do something and do it better than we've done in the past, because whether it's a Republican or a Democrat in the White House, we're spending beyond our means.
Well, let me read you this comment. This is good. This was on our poll question on YouTube. Thank you all for sharing, by the way, your thoughts on this. You can vote, but you can also write a comment. Flat Feet Flip Flop 8060.
Perfect name.
Yeah, perfect. Says it's absurd to think anyone makes more than $1 million a year. Only in my wildest dreams do I ever get to imagine I can make that. Wealthy can't understand the feeling of failure, that you cannot provide enough for the ones that you love. and wonder where the animosity comes from when they talk about the trickle-down effect of not taxing the wealthy. I think the difference with this too is that sometimes in the past in government they've called like anyone who makes over 250 wealthy or 300 wealthy, which is a lot of money.
Sure.
But the cost to live in America has gotten so expensive that I think when you are thinking about taxing the wealthy, you're like, hey, Jeff Bezos, can you give a little bit more of that?
Yeah, definitely.
Hey,
right?
Meta. Hey, all these owners in Silicon Valley that, are making an incredible amount of money. Maybe they can help out a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe if he called it a billionaire's tax,
that would
then 100% of people, like 99.999
would be on top of it.
Let's show folks what the celebrations are like at the alma mater of the new Pope Gregory. So this is Villanova, and you can imagine, I mean, there have been celebrations there. Oh, take a look at these old-timey pictures.
Wow, look at those photos.
Yeah.
Do you think he signed anyone's yearbook? Do you know how I have I guess in
Yes,
college
right,
it's more,
sure.
it's different. But in high school, let's say he was in high school. I wonder if anybody there in Chicago in that small suburban town had like something written in his yearbook, like God bless you, Jesus loves you, or something in there.
Maybe so. Well, the stories are coming out that even people in his family were saying, what are you trying to be, the Pope someday?
Well, I guess when he was in first grade.
Are you the Holy One?
I was listening to the talk radio last night, driving the kids around.
Yeah.
And I heard an interview that said they spoke to one of his brothers, and he said even in first grade, he's like, I want to be a priest.
Yeah.
Yeah, first grade.
And he followed through on it.
Yes, he did.
So I guess the congratulations are extending all over the world. In fact, take a look at these pictures if you haven't seen it. This is the Christ the Redeemer statue. High atop the hill overlooking downtown Rio de Janeiro. And so this is how they pay tribute. That is so cool how they're able to project that right up onto the statue. So the joyous Latin phrase says we have a pope, and Brazil, of course, is a strongly Catholic nation. Pope Leo XIV did serve many years as a missionary, about 10 years, I believe, in nearby Peru. And so he's got that connection as well. So we'll see now if this means better times ahead for the Villanova basketball team, Celeste.
Oh.
Because we had Sister Jean, from another Catholic institution that made them very popular and very lucky, shall we say, when the March Madness began.
I know.
And Villanova's actually got a really good basketball team. All right, let's show everybody what's happening with our mystery cam this morning, this lonely stretch of farmland.
Are we at our mystery camera already?
Celeste, can you believe it?
Okay, I'm hoping Kim Winnett stayed with us here this morning because, she was interested in the mystery cam.
Oh, good. Okay, Kim, be sure to do it. And by the way, up next, what you need to know if you're going to be driving on the 17 this weekend, give us your guesses on the mystery cam, and we'll be right back. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the Mystery Cam. Syleste, any good guesses?
We do have some good guesses. So we have Frankie D says, Texas. Jared of Sonora says, Texas.
Okay.
Jared of Sonora says Idaho. We've got Jens Wall says Nebraska.
Okay.
NB Pilot says Texas as well.
Yeah.
And let's see, we have an Indiana from Sherry Nevada Pup. That's a good guess. Sammy G said North Dakota.
All right. I think I'm going to go with, do I want to go with North Dakota? I think I'm going to go Nebraska. What do you think, Syleste?
I think I'm going to go, I'll go Iowa.
Okay.
Okay, so here is,
The Mystery Cam.
here's the Mystery Cam.
Answer.
And, who said Indiana? Nice
Really?
work, Sherry Nevada Pup.
Oh, Sherry.
Wow.
You just have a sixth sense about this, Sherry. It's
And
fantastic.
What did she guess a couple days ago? She was like, I'm right a couple days. Rhode Island. It was Rhode Island that she guessed.
Oh,
Nice
that's
work.
so great. Hey, so there's a story that we are following for you closely today, and it has to do with what's going to be happening on the I-17 freeway. Just now getting going, but you're going to want to know about it, and that's why we've invited Laura Douglas from ADOT to join us this morning. Let me pull up Laura. There she is. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me and for helping us get the word out on behalf of ADOT and the I-17 Improvement Project.
All right.
Good morning.
Tell us a little bit more about what's changing out that way.
Yes, a lot. So the flex lanes are part of the I-17 Improvement Project between Anthem Way and Sunset Point, and the flex lanes have now been constructed between Black Canyon City and Sunset Point. That's 8 miles. And earlier this week, we opened those flex lanes to detour traffic that would normally use the northbound travel lanes because we are doing work on those northbound travel lanes in that area and also bridge work. So we are detouring traffic into the flex lanes via a crossover lane. So they enter at Coldwater Road. They exit at Sunset Point. The flex lanes are not operational in terms of being flexible flex lanes right now. They are simply that detour route. But we are having the challenges with the navigation apps showing that I-17 is closed because technically it is on the general purpose lanes going northbound. We want to make sure that people know that I-17 is open. They just take that detour route through the flex lanes. And that's, again, simply by driving north, you'll access the flex lanes at Coldwater Road.
All right. So if your GPS tells you it's closed, this is one time that you shouldn't believe it because there are lanes, they're just new lanes, and the old lanes are shut down.
Correct. Although we are hearing this morning that Apple Maps has corrected itself. We're waiting on other navigation systems to update themselves, like Google. But we have been trying to get the word out via the media and social media and all different methods to make sure that people know that I-17 is open. Especially, this is a big weekend. We've got NAU graduation, and we want people to make sure that they're taking I-17 because it is open in terms of no planned construction restrictions. And we've been hearing, for the most part, that it's smooth sailing, that people are able to get from the valley up to NAU.
Oh, that's great. Well, before we let you go, give us a quick update. When is the whole project going to be done? And are you going to have a testing period for the flex lanes? I mean, you still have quite a bit of work to do.
Well, yes, to answer that, so the widening portion between Anthem Way and Black Canyon City, we're putting the finishing touches on those lanes. So they are expected to open soon in time for the summer travel season. So there will be more to come on that very soon. The flex lanes, as you mentioned, they're constructed. They have many of the safety systems in place, but there is several testing periods to make sure that entire safety operation system works as it should and works collectively. And so that will be occurring throughout the next few months. And we're hoping to have the flex lanes open by the end of this year.
Wow, an amazing job you and the crews have done. Thank you so much for sharing part of your day with us. It's incredible to see how fast it's moving.
Absolutely. Laura, thanks. And of course, we'll call on you from time to time as we get just a little bit closer to the actual day when the whole project is done. Boy, that's a big project, but it sure makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely, it does.
Okay. Hey, there's another road project we wanted to tell you about. We have a member of the Maricopa City Council who's going to be joining us right now, because anybody who's ever driven that 347, you love living in Maricopa
It's
because you
beautiful.
have pretty much everything you need right in that city. But at the same time, you're like, oh, I got to get on that road again, and who knows if it's going to be jammed or not. So we have Vincent Manfredi, I think it is, joining us, this Manfredi. And so, council member, thank you. What is the game plan moving forward?
All right, hold on one second. I think we're going to try to fix your audio, or maybe we can start over.
I think I have it. I
Oh,
was
there
on
you go.
mute. As we all know.
Yeah.
Gee, we
Hey,
all do
believe
that,
me,
right?
Celeste and I do that like 5 times a day.
Yeah.
I
you,
know, I'm crazy
you look
about
good,
it.
and
I'm
now you
sorry.
sound good.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that we're looking to do here is make sure that there's a road for the people of Maricopa, the residents of Maricopa, the taxpayers of Maricopa, to get to work, medical appointments, school, shopping, everything they need to do in the valley. And as most people are aware, the 347 is a 2-lane road in and out of a community of over 90,000 people. When you take into account the people around the area.
All right, what's
so
the
a lot of people,
so
58,000 cars traversing on a
it's
daily
so
basis.
much, right? What's the game plan, and is it like phase 1, phase 2, or are you going to try to get it all done with ADOT all at once?
Well, that's the hard part, right? Is when you work with different projects and many different funding measures, including using the legislature, ADOT, and of course us and everything else. It winds up in a bunch of different projects. The goal, I think, would be to bring it all together as one project. Because currently, right now, the I-10 expansion that's happening is the interchange or the exit and on-ramp and off-ramp of the Queen Creek Road, which is the 347.
So will there still be stoplights, or is it going to be a little more like a freeway?
Well, there's right now 3 stoplights on the road. And the goal is to remove all 3 of them by using different overpasses and interchanges. So right now, it's the craziest thing. You're driving out there. There's no lights, really. So you're driving out there at 2 in the morning, and then all you see is a red light coming up. And you're like, what's that? And there's no cars or anything else except you sometimes. And you're like, okay, I'll stop. And then you stop for it. So it's kind of funny is that it is basically a freeway, but it's not, because it has lights that stop people and create artificial traffic jams at times.
You know, there's the city of Maricopa has grown so much in just a short amount of time. I think there's a lot. What were some of the concerns you heard from people who live there, and how important this was to them? Because so many of them commute up to the valley, or even to the East Valley or South Mountain area to work.
Yeah, it's 80% of the people that have jobs and live in the city of Maricopa work in the valley. So we don't have many jobs in the city of Maricopa today. We're trying to get more, of course, to come. But it is very much a bedroom community. So a lot of the people, as you mentioned, commute every single day. So what I hear from everyone, I've been in office now for a little over 10 years. So what I hear from everybody is the 347 is the number one thing that has to get taken care of. It's the number one issue that I hear from residents and constituents. Everybody talks about the 347. It holds back business from coming to Maricopa because they don't want to traverse the 347 with trucks and stuff.
Yeah, and
So,
I think
no, it's the number one issue that we face. So it has to get fixed. And it's something we've been working on nonstop.
Well, that's exciting for all of you, because even to the south, to Casa Grande, if something were ever to happen on that State Route 347, I've got a family, by the way. You just turn on Buttercut and go right down that way.
Take the old Buttercut shortcut. All right.
And my Thea Linda lives down there with my cousin Richard and Anthony. And so, but the thing is, if something happens there in town, there's only really 2 ways out. You got to go through Casa Grande, or you got to take the 347. So this is great news.
Yeah, it is great news. If you want to get to the valley, it's probably the quickest way, of course, 347 sometimes. But the other ways go through Casa Grande, and we're working on different routes to get to the 10, hopefully in the future. And then, of course, when you look at where else is, you can go to 238, but again, that's a one-lane road out of town. So we're really in a position where the housing is very cost effective for people, and we're growing. But unfortunately, the road hasn't seen any real improvement since the late 90s. I think it was 97 when it was actually expanded from one lane each way to two.
And we want to wish you the best of luck. It sounds like it's a great plan. Thanks again, and we'll check in with you as you get a little closer to
Anytime
completion.
you
Good
need
to see
chat.
you.
Talk to you soon.
Celeste,
Yes,
let's
sir.
talk snakes.
Okay. Like
What do you
rattlesnakes?
well, like snakes on a shirt.
Or
Not snakes on a plane, snakes in a ballpark. What do you got?
Or
What's
not,
happening?
or not the snakes that Paula Abdul's talks about. Cold-hearted snakes.
Cold-hearted.
Look at this. It says Arizona born. So I threw this up in the chat, and thank you all for sharing your thoughts. But lots of people are saying, I said purple and teal, or do you like the red and black?
Yeah, what are they
purple
saying?
and teal.
I
People
know.
are voting Arizona born. There's
Just
one of them.
go back
and
to
it's got
it.
like that wiki, like summer type of fabric that, if you sweat, you're going to cool off. This might be my favorite fabric.
I
of
feel
all.
like this is a fashion
Look at-
segment, Celeste.
Oh, look, it's keying out
Oh,
because it's a little greenish teal.
come
But
on.
look at this; it stretches.
Flexible?
Look
Yeah,
at how, and
okay.
it's like a soft, flexy material.
And here is why we're talking about it. It's Serpientes weekend at the ballpark. Now, by the way, the D-backs took care of business last night against the Dodgers. It's always close to a packed house when the Dodgers come to town. I mean, they top the league, right? And so they're going to roll all the new shirts. They're going to do it every Friday, the whole rest. There it is. I think it looks sharp. I love the purple and teal. I'm going to go buy one myself,
well,
Celeste.
I think if mom is a big baseball fan, and we know we got a lot of baseball moms out there, then I think this could be the perfect idea for Mother's Day.
Oh, I love it.
Didn't they beat the Dodgers last night?
I
The
was
D-backs?
just saying,
Yeah, you were just
5-3,
saying.
yeah.
Crazy.
So hopefully they take care of business with them again tonight, and keep an eye out. I love that look. But now the thing about snakes is this. We said no snakes on a plane, no snakes in the ball,
cold-hearted
no
snakes.
Paula Abdul snakes songs. But look at that. Here's a real snake. And this is just a quick warning, everybody. This was spotted yesterday evening at South Mountain Park at the Pima Canyon Trailhead. When the weather gets warm like this, they kind of like to come out. So just if you're, especially South Mountain, but on any of our hikes now in the coming days, keep your eyes open because they are out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it wild? I've never seen a rattlesnake in the wild.
Right?
They camouflage.
I know.
Wow.
Now at picnic tables? What? We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. You're looking at Olympia, Washington, the state capital there. In fact, just knowing that city pretty well, the way the angle is, I almost feel like the camera could be right up on top of the Capitol Dome, Celeste.
Yes, it's beautiful, sunny day there.
What
wow.
a beautiful day.
By the way, my mom just texted me, because they live in Laveen. She said, you can go through 51st Avenue on the reservation if you get stuck off that 347.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll be a future poll question is what's the best shortcut
outside
to get around traffic jams on the 347?
Can I give a big shout out to Sherry Nevada Pup? So
Yeah.
we threw up this t-shirt.
Yeah.
Arizona born. She said, I'm not Arizona born. I'm a transplant, but I love it here. And I thought, well, how cool would it be to have an Arizona transplant t-shirt?
Oh, yeah.
Also,
Are you listening, Diamondbacks? Go back, get away from the red and black and go back to the purple and teal.
Yes.
And then we want a shirt that says Arizona Transplant.
or Arizona Reborn.
There's that for
Something.
sure. Hey, really interesting new report came out today in the battle between Coke and Pepsi. Do you have a choice there, Celeste?
Oh, I am a Coke person.
I can't drink either one of them because they both continue to insist to put aspartame in their diet sodas. So I've moved on to, there are lots of other kind of healthy option sodas that are out there that don't have aspartame.
Okay.
We continue to wait to hear what might be happening with RFK Jr. when it comes to getting aspartame out of sodas. But,
so true.
Pepsi is dropping and Coke is holding strong in this new survey. I don't know if this surprises you or not. Ready? Coke #1 by a wide margin. And I think that's a combination, by the way, of Coke and Diet Coke. And then Pepsi has dropped. It only has 8% of the market. Dr. Pepper's now #2 and Sprite's #3.
Wow.
And so Pepsi's a little further down the line. Surprised or not?
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Right.
I know the young kids, the kids are drinking DP now. Dr.
Yes,
Pepper.
I know.
Right?
That's a hot trend.
DP and Sprite. And I think I'm a Diet Coke person. Bo Jackson says he's a cherry Coke.
Yeah. I always
Although,
wonder if that's the real Bo Jackson.
Oh.
You know, he has a home here in the Valley.
Does he?
Did I ever tell you my story? Years ago, we had him as a guest on Fox 10. And I come walking beyond the green room down that little ramp. I'm going to go introduce myself to him. He looks at me and says, Hooner! And I'm like, you know me? All these years of being on TV have paid off at Bo Jackson.
Okay, reminds me, I was talking to somebody in the city of Mesa and the government yesterday afternoon. And I said, well, Ron, talking about the streaming show and bringing him on the streaming show. And he goes, yeah, the mayor of Mesa. And he goes, the Hooner, the mayor. And I'm like, yes, the Hooner, the mayor of Mesa.
There you go. That's for sure.
But Ron, can I just say this real quick? Paul Humphrey, Lil Philosophy, The Aviator, we're hearing from him from Germany.
Oh, good. Yes, right. One of our favorite new commentators.
They all said Pepsi. Pepsi all day long.
Really?
Pepsi for life.
Okay.
RLS Vid said RC Cola. And we do have a Pepsi Zero from Louis Gonzalez.
There you go. Well, there you go.
We got a lot of Pepsi drinkers.
Pepsi fans are speaking up.
Yes.
Hey, this is a really interesting story. We have apparently a new nominee for the U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C., and it looks like it's going to be one of the favorites on the 5. Celeste, I'm very worried that Judge Jeanine Pirro might have to give it up so she could go be this is according to our Fox reporting, Republican Senator Tom Tillis said he was not going to confirm the previous nomination, a guy named Ed Martin. And so President Trump said, fine, I'm going to put Judge Jeanine Pirro on there. She's a no-nonsense kind of gal.
And very, very smart.
Yes.
We've chatted with her live on AZAM before. She's a very smart woman.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one thing that we're watching. We're going to see how that plays out. I don't know, if it's, I guess if she gets confirmation, at which we are hearing a lot of good positive stuff on Capitol Hill, she would probably have to move to Washington. And probably not be it. Now the 5's going to become the 4.
And what's the real estate market like in Washington? She may not like it there.
Yeah. Well,
is her hairdresser there?
It can't be as expensive as New York.
That's
right?
true.
Okay, so we talked about a lot of really interesting topics today on our Every Friday chat with Shannon Bream of Fox News Sunday, because maybe you've noticed there are a few headlines happening in Washington over the last few days. So ready? Here we go. Ever since the day of liberation, we've been seeing everything from angst in the market to anger at the president over these tariffs. Then we see the first trade deal roll out. It helps the Brits with their auto jobs. It helps the Americans with a lot, apparently billions that they're going to spend buying Boeing planes here, aircraft manufacturing. And the talking point of, well, look how much you've lost in your 401k has kind of faded away. The market's made everything back up. Is there a sense now in Washington that maybe this whole thing will work out, or is it still as divisive as ever?
Well, it depends on whom you ask, for sure. And everybody's looking to this weekend to see whether those talks in China between some of our top officials, their top officials in Switzerland with China, whether that big white whale of a deal gets any closer to getting done. But you're right, a lot of the market stabilization has already happened. And there's a ton of pressure on this White House. You got this 90-day freeze on most of these tariffs. You got to get these deals in. We're told there are dozens of others coming together. Secretary Lutnick is going to be with us on Sunday. He's one of the guys who is trying to get some of these together. So we'll see what progress he can tell us about what's being made. But the markets love these deals. They like stability. And for now, it seems that they're moving in the right direction.
Big headline now. Tax the rich is sort of an unexpected headline when Republicans are in charge in Washington. But it sounds like higher taxes on wealthy Americans is what he's proposing. I don't know, maybe to help pay for no tax on tips, or maybe even to try to get our debt under control. Is it creating some shockwaves this morning in Washington?
For sure. And there's definitely inner turmoil with the Republicans. Last weekend, I had House Ways and Means Committee Chair Jason Smith on Fox News Sunday. Now, he's got to set all the tax policy for this big, beautiful deal. And when I pushed him about these whispers that they might allow that top tax rate to revert to prior to 2017 to the cuts, he really danced around it a lot, but he did not rule it out. And now you have the president openly saying, hey, it's not what I would do, but I understand if the House does it. They got to pay for all kinds of other things. And so this idea that you might let that tax, that top rate revert, it's going to be called a tax hike by a lot of people. And that's not something Republicans like voting for. But you got to, the math is the math. And you got to figure out how you get to these numbers to get that thing across the finish line.
Yeah, harder in the House or harder in the Senate to get through?
Harder in the House, because I think that this is where, you know, the really intricate policy is being hammered out, where there is a tighter margin of just 3 votes that they can lose to get it done. Now, a lot of what they're talking about, the Senate's already saying, like, we're not going to go for that, but they've got to move in the House before they can get to the Senate.
You know, we're in the phase of politics where Democrats are trying to figure out why they lost in 2024 and come together on a plan for the future. And then comes President Biden out where he says he's not surprised that Kamala Harris lost. How's that playing in the party?
Well, not well. I think that there are a lot of people in the party who say, listen, he was an elder statesman, somebody that we respected, had a long, fruitful career in Washington, but we'd prefer that he would exit stage left and not start doing all these interviews again, because it raises all of those really painful things that happened last fall. And listen, if you look at polling right now, the former vice president is still at the head of the pack for 2028. That may be a name recognition thing in large part. It may be that they just haven't decided where they're going to go next. But I think that there's a lot of angst among Democrats here in Washington who feel like, President Biden, let's close that chapter and move forward.
Hey, we love your show. You have Howard Lutnick. What else on Sunday?
We've got Senator Tom Cotton with us, too, as it looks like we may be going into another round of talks with Iran. He is the chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, so we're going to talk all foreign policy with him: Iran, Russia, Ukraine, China, Middle East, as the president gets ready to head there on his own trip.
Sunday morning at 8, right here on Fox 10. Thanks, Shannon. And let's update you now on our poll question this morning. Still running about 70-20, and 7% say maybe we all could pay a little bit more. The millionaires, the billionaires, and even
the gazillionaires.
Sure, that's bound to come someday. 70% plus say, you know what, they can afford it. Let's do it. Let's do that tax the rich concept the president seems to be coming around to. But 21% say anytime you raise taxes, it's a bad idea. So, Syleste.
Yes, Ron.
I feel like if we go to the Dave Cam now, which is one of my favorite things to do. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the executive producer of all of our streaming shows here, which we have a bunch of them.
We do now, yes.
Yeah. Dave, what are you hearing? What are people saying regarding this question today?
Yeah, so we've got more than 30 comments on this question. Andrew says raising taxes always has an inverse relation to tax revenue. George and Lauren Davis say bring them closer to what we pay in our tax brackets. Show 553 say holding the rich to the same standards as the poor does not mean they are being punished for being rich. So tons of people chiming in, and we encourage you to do so as well on our YouTube poll or at fox10phoenix.com/poll.
Okay.
Way to go, Dave.
Absolutely. We love the Dave cam.
Yes,
One
we
of these
do.
days you're going to have to reach up and grab that lens and show Brian right next to you, because we couldn't do the show without Brian. But
Oh, there's
yeah.
his
Oh,
finger.
look. Oh, there we go.
But he's only given us the index finger, not the other one.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, Bo Jackson, by the way, he's chiming in the chat.
Yes.
It's not the Bo Jackson.
Oh, okay.
But he said he snowbirded here in Arizona with his grandparents from 01 to 07.
Oh.
He's in Minneapolis.
Okay.
Or Minnesota.
Up in Duluth,
Up
I
in
think,
Duluth,
right?
Minnesota. Thank you.
Yeah.
But then a little philosophy chimed in and said the Duluth Trading Co. underwear, it's a real thing. It's a real deal. He said it's a real deal. And as a female, I said, what's so real about it? Like,
Okay.
what's the big thing about
Right.
it? You know, is it the prints?
By the way, this is the part of the show where we go from PG to PG-13 with Celeste ad-libs, but Celeste, take it away.
Ron, we all wear undies, okay? We all wear. Okay, so I said, what's the deal with them? Are they soft print? And we
Okay.
had to. Why are you turning red, Ron?
Well, because there's no air conditioning working in this building. Go ahead, Celeste.
But apparently they're breathable.
Oh, is that what
so
it is?
that's the thing, because
Okay.
Duluth Trading, is like
Yeah.
an ode to Bo.
Right. Duluth is on my list of great American cities that I have not seen yet.
Oh, I
So-
have one of my former students. She is. Oh yeah, Bo. Look for Sydney Whitty. She's the morning anchor.
Oh.
At one of the station. At the
on
station.
Good Morning Duluth?
Good Morning Duluth.
Wow.
Yes, she is my former student,
Yeah.
Bo. So you have to reach out on Instagram, let her know, hey, I watched the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was just here in town. We still do coffee.
Hey, Bo, tell us what's the coldest temp you've seen while living in Duluth. I do want to know about that before I make a travel journey plan to go there. But, a lot of the ships that cruise through the Great Lakes
Yes.
start right in that area.
It's really pretty.
It looks
Yeah,
very
She showed
beautiful.
me some photos.
Yeah, and then of course we think about the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, that went
Yeah.
down in Lake Superior. I believe it emanated that trip emanated in that Duluth area.
You're going to have to do one of your
bit.
history shows about this.
Oh,
By the way,
yes.
Husky Mom in the chat.
Yeah.
She mentioned that she watched your and John's history show.
Oh, that's great.
And she said it was great. She said part 1 was the Alamo, right?
Yep.
She said, when is part 2?
You know, I almost feel like as talented as Dean Fazzini is in live control that we could do a mystery cam every 15 minutes. This is Providence, Rhode Island. And don't let that camera, which to me looks like it's, I don't know, like on top of the Sears Tower in Chicago or something,
It's
the
beautiful.
Willis Tower.
Look, it's snowing. Or it looks like it anyway.
It is?
Like little white. You see, maybe it's so high up that it's going to become rain as it falls closer to the ground. Who
Yeah,
knows?
it's up so high that you're just about to leave the atmosphere.
That's so true.
But anyway, it's a beautiful city. You can't really tell from the particular framing on this shot. But yeah, I think you're right. A little bit of maybe light hail or something going on.
And by the
there
way,
in
Ron,
Providence.
I know I just shared this with you, but Mom is watching. She said, Mom, tell Ron, Mom says, Ron, go to Duluth and take the North Shore Drive to Canada.
Oh, this is so great. We love that Celeste Mom is watching every day here on our streaming show. By the way, if you are kind of new and you haven't joined the chat yet, come join us in the chat so we get a chance to say hi to you.
Yes.
Just like we're doing with Bo Jackson today because
That's right.
you rock in Duluth. And we're
Yes.
still waiting. Let me know if he answers that question. What's the coldest temp you've ever lived through?
Coldest temp in Duluth.
In Duluth. Now, yeah, since you just started talking about your mom, it is Mother's Day weekend coming
it
up. And
is.
there's a
Big
story,
happy Mom's
Celeste,
Day.
where a mom's love leads to a two-person graduation. Ambriel Brown always wanted to become a nurse, but a rare kidney disease forced her to put that dream on hold. That's when her mother, Nija, offered to donate her kidney to help save her daughter's life. And you know, you think about our moms and they would, you know, that of anybody on earth, your mom would do about anything
for you.
Yes. And so that was about 2 years ago. They did the kidney transplant. It's been successful. And so both mom and daughter just graduated from the Baton Rouge, Louisiana School of Nursing. And the fact that she was willing, Celeste, to do this now has her thinking, maybe there's something else I can do with my life as well. Some kind of new thing.
It's
so
never too late.
that kidney donation made all the difference in the world. Now, on the other hand, Celeste.
Yes, Ron.
Speaking of Mother's Day, we do have a story coming in on the worst Mother's Day gifts.
Oh, worse.
This is a tale of caution for anybody who still hasn't bought their Mother's Day gift. So this list came out. I don't know if it's like a nationwide survey or exactly what, but some of them, I could see where some of these could get awkward. Ready? Number one on the list? Any kind of weight loss product.
That is a bad idea. That is a horrible idea. Hey, Mom, here's the new weight scale for you. It's really tech friendly. It's the top of the line.
Here are these new diet milkshakes, Mom. You might want to start tomorrow. No, you don't want to do that, right?
Bad idea.
Okay, let's see. Cleaning supplies apparently are a big no-no.
No,
Especially,
no.
if you're an adult, you come over to Mom's house and you're like, my house is cleaner than my mom's. What should I get her? Some 409?
Well, no. Maybe you should put the gloves on and start scrubbing the floors.
There you
Mom.
go. Okay, here's another red flag. I love this list. This is fantastic. Don't bother getting your mom a beginner's cookbook on how to cook.
Can you imagine? Beginners?
Oh, this is so great.
Oh, my
okay.
gosh.
Let's see. This is so funny.
Brother.
Actually, all I ever saw was the headline. I didn't go all the way down the list. Flowers from a gas station are a big no.
Well, it depends on how fancy the gas station.
Oh, okay.
What if it's a Wawa?
Okay.
Or a Buc-ee's?
Or a QT.
Or a QT.
Right.
Yeah, you never know.
All right. Plastic or real flowers? Celeste, are there any rules in that?
Oh, it's got to be real.
Okay.
The plastic.
Yeah. Also, Mom most likely won't appreciate a self-help book to help her fix herself. Come on.
And yeah, don't get her like a menopause book, something that would be a bad idea.
Oh, this is really quite a hilarious list. But anyway, there you go. Those are the ones to stay away from if you want to have a nice, smooth Mother's Day.
Although I will say, Sherry, Nevada Pup, I'm with you on this one. She said, Mom would appreciate a nice rainbow vacuum.
Oh.
I don't know what that is.
No,
but,
I don't either.
I don't know if it's $3,000 rainbow vacuum. I think it's
Ooh.
$3,000.
No.
Yeah.
There's a vacuum out there that's a $3,000 vacuum.
Yeah, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And those robotic ones, they move all over the
the
place.
Roomba,
The
something
Roombas.
like that.
Yeah, you never know.
Okay. Well, anyway, happy Mother's Day to all the moms who are out there.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
And if you're planning your summer travel getaways right now, there's a note of caution from one of America's most favorite of them all national parks. In fact, I think it might be number one, which is Yellowstone. And we have these great
This is
pictures
a serious story, Ron.
showing how beautiful Yellowstone is. The scenery is great, but watch out for the
Oh, bison.
bison. Now, we have had our first bison attack of the year in Yellowstone Park.
Yes.
And let's see.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at that.
I am trying to remember the name of the valley. Okay, Brian, you can hop in my ear. We have our designated Montana guy. Brian, what's it called? The valley out there up in the northeast corner of Yellowstone where all the bison hang out?
Oh,
No.
He doesn't have a
Oh, he
headset
doesn't
on
have a
right now.
mic where he...
Yeah, he's running in here right now, everybody.
Celeste.
What's that?
We can't hear you,
Lamar.
Brian.
He said Lamar.
Brian, could you come out a little closer to the camera here?
Brian, will you come out to the green
Yeah.
to
Come
our
on.
studio
Yeah,
set?
I still. Oh, see, we're trying. Anyway, he grew up in Montana, and he told me to take that highway when you leave the Lamar Valley. Celeste. So when I went there, it was mating season, and if you think the attacks are happening now on the general human populace, do not get in the way of these male bison when mating season starts in, I believe it's late July and into August.
Yeah, it's a bad idea. I mean, this guy, he got pretty close. I think the rule is you have to stay 75 feet away.
Oh, okay.
That's the rule. The park said make sure you stay at least 75 feet away. And I
Right.
think the number they gave us today was that they can run 3 times faster than any human.
Well, so a human can run close to 20 miles an hour. You're telling me these things can go close to 50 or 60 miles an hour?
Where's Usain Bolt?
Yeah,
when,
right.
when we need him.
Okay.
That would be quite
Who would
the
win
experiment.
in a race between him, Bolt, and the
Versus
bison?
Bolt versus
Come
the
on,
bison.
man. That is a reality show just waiting to happen. Okay, well, anyway, there's your advice for travel up in that great Yellowstone area where, it's a bit of a drive to get from here to there.
We were up to about 94, Ron, on the
Really?
chat on the on the YouTube.
Oh, yes?
And it all started with the undies talk. And then it slowly progressed to the talk about the $3,000 rainbow vacuum.
Okay, get ready for a lot more underwear talk next week. Okay, let's just show everybody. I love this story. We love stories that have these happy endings. And this, I believe, I'm just looking at my notes here, is going to be V09. Stand by. I got a button for that. Did you hear about the cat that had been missing in Michigan for 3 years? I'm afraid the family almost gave up hope, Celeste.
Okay.
And then the little pet was reunited with her mama, with her pet owner. Ella Bennett said that Buddy, her indoor cat, indoor-outdoor, had disappeared back in 2002. And she said, we had kind of given up hope. And then the other day at the Lenawee County Humane Society, there was a post that somebody had seen a kitty cat outside the McDonald's in Adrian, Michigan. And so Ella's like, hold on, that's only 10 miles from my house. You mean to tell me my beloved kitty cat all this time was only 10 miles away?
Oh, wow. How did the kitty cat get away again?
Just wandered out one day and didn't come home. I don't know. Maybe who knows? That cat could have been hanging out at McDonald's for the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, it's like the secret life of pets. Do we know if it hopped on the back of a work truck and then, traveled a little bit farther, 10 miles down the road or something like that? You never know.
You never do.
You never know.
You want to hear a whole backstory, that's for sure. Hey, so, Ty and Anita, they come up right at 11 o'clock sharp. We're going to introduce Ty early today because of a story, Ty, that had got my attention because my daughter lives up in Utah and you lived there for many years. Did you hear about this new survey that says it's the #1 state in America third year in a row from U.S. News and World Report.
What does
Hang on.
that mean? Does that
Hang
mean
on.
best place to live?
Okay, here's what it is. Let's just see here. Gets high marks for education. Okay. Park City High School. Let's call them out.
Yeah, Parks.
There
That's
you go.
right.
My daughter went to BYU for her undergrad, and then she went to the U of U for her grad work. Both.
The U of U, it's like U of A and
ASU.
Right. You're a U of U guy.
I'm a U.
That's right. Okay. But it's turned out to be a great football rivalry lately.
Yeah.
Right? Every year with Kalani Sitake down the road up in Provo. And so I'm just trying to look and see some of the other things that they were. Let's just see. Crime is relatively low.
You know what they also
feel like
have-
it's a high-tech boom town.
Oh, it is.
Almost to the level of Silicon Valley.
Well, they have a bunch of it's been a couple years since we were up there because Gary's uncle lives in Park City. So
Yeah.
we've been going there for about 15 years. But right outside of Park City, that highway, was it 80?
Yeah. Well, depends on which one.
The
80 or 40. Yeah.
80, yeah, the one that takes you into Park
Yeah, yeah,
City,
yeah.
connects you to Salt Lake. Right outside there, south of there, against the mountains, you have Meta, you've got X, you have like Amazon, you have all these big tech companies that started building.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
And then what about the ski season, Ty? Sometimes it could go this late in the year.
It can, yeah.
Right?
I excuse me. I think they're already closed, but I mean, it is. They do have some pretty good skiing. I mean, we have some good skiing here in Arizona. Snowball. We don't want to diminish what they have, but the
Right.
terrain, like just the amount of runs that they have,
Yeah.
it's so much fun to go skiing up there.
True or false? You could get high school credit to go skiing for PE or something.
Well, you know
Is that how
what?
it
There
works?
was in Park City High School. There
Yeah.
was a class that you could take, and we used to get out early on Fridays
Yeah.
so that you could go skiing for the rest of the day.
And now we have friends who live up there full time, and both their kids are skiers, racers on the race
nice.
teams at their schools and in middle school. And now they have a reverse, so they have, instead of like summer school,
Yeah.
they do winter school. So then the kid has the winter off, so they can train in the
Participate,
winter, and then
yeah.
during the summer months they actually go to school.
Talk about your flex hours.
know, right?
Like that. All right, 11 o'clock on YouTube. Ty and Anita, what do you guys got coming up?
Okay, so we have a jam-packed show.
Wow.
So we are talking Mother's Day, obviously. So we are going to be talking about a local company. They make the most amazing smelling candles. So we're going to promote their small business. We have a surprise, I'm being told. The Thunder from Down Under. You might want to stay, Celeste.
So
because-
this is going to be huge.
On this little set right here?
We were just talking about underwear, the Duluth Trading Company undies, and our numbers peaked when we started talking about that. So now the fact that these guys are in only undies,
No,
that's
I
probably
think
going to be
they
a
were
big
told that
deal.
they have to stay clothed. Our boss has
you
already
go.
put the kibosh on
Well,
that.
undies are clothed.
Celeste is trying to get us in trouble, Ron.
It's all coming up in 2
Can you see my sweater down here? Yeah.
20 seconds. You guys don't mess around.
All right, welcome on in, everybody. It is a busy start to our Friday. By the way, I'm just getting whiffs of what we're just about to talk to here in just a few minutes, you guys. Happy Friday, by the way.
Happy Friday.
It's been kind of hectic around here, but
we're still trying to get ready. We're lining up. Wait until you guys see what's going to happen in the next half. You're going to want to tune in. I don't even have my chat box up yet, but you're going to want to see some eye candy. That's all I can say. This is Amy Harris. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank
you are a mom. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
And you're a small business owner, and May is Small Business Month. And so we love celebrating small business. And so tell us about your business.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Really excited to be here with both of you. So it's good to see you both.
Yeah.
So I own Mally and Casey Candle Company. So we are a home-based business in Gilbert, Arizona. We make clean candles for your home, and then we also have flameless options like wax melts, diffuser oils for your diffusers. We have car diffusers. We have room sprays. And recently, we also launched purse fumes, which is perfume that you can keep in your purse.
Oh, that's a great
or
idea.
your pocket.
Yeah.
Just to have on the go to keep you fresh. We actually just got our first registered trademark on that
Oh, awesome.
about a month ago. So
Congratulations.
thank you. So it's been fun.
So Amy, walk us through, we're looking at some photos of actually Anita that was at your studio, which is in your home, correct?
Correct.
Tell us why you decided to start this.
Well,
I love the story of why behind your company.
Well, thank you. So we moved to Arizona in 2018, and I went to a market, and I actually bought 2 candles. And when I came home, I lit them, and I was like, well, this is dumb. I'm literally lighting it on fire, and it's going to be gone. Like, what else do you buy that you light on fire that you then need to replace?
Yes.
So I was like, man, that's a great business idea. Like, how can I figure out how to do this? And so that's really where the idea started. And then once COVID hit, it was really a time where I could hunker down and start testing different products, different wicks, different scents, and that sort of thing.
I remember you mentioning when I was there that you said you wanted the clean product, though, because you're a mom and you didn't want your kids breathing in any toxins when you were burning those candles.
Yes, and that's very important to us. So one thing, we've changed several things over the years, but one thing that hasn't changed is the quality of our products and that everything is still clean. We use clean wax. Our wicks are 100% cotton, so there's no zinc in the wick. You'll never see like that black soot or smoke coming up from it. So that's one thing that, like I said, has always remained the same for us, is making sure that these things that you're burning in your home are safe
And
for
clean,
you and your family.
Let's talk about, I love the kind of, you mentioned that kind of, a lot of people were hunkered down at home, so they had to do this. This is kind of when you were kind of able to fine tune your business though, right? Because I can only imagine there was a lot of trial and error when it comes to starting your own business, especially when you're talking about fragrance, because it's got to smell good, it's got to burn cleanly. Kind of walk me through how long that process took.
So that's a great question. A very long time, and patience is one thing that I lack, and I also lack math and science skills. And honestly, it's those three things, right? It's those 3 things that really was able to allow me to grow this business. So it took a ton of patience, a lot of trial and error. A lot of trying to figure out math equations and the science behind it. And so once I figured that out, I was in a good spot where I'm like, okay, now that we know our formula and how we're going to do this, let's go. Like,
how many scents did you start with?
Oh gosh, so in the beginning, probably 10 to 12.
Okay, so that's quite a few to start out with.
Going back to that whole small business model, I just kind of put up, Husky Mom is asking what your website is.
It's mccandleco.com.
Because Mally and Casey are your kids, so also
Correct.
back to the mom thing.
Correct.
But just running a small business isn't easy, and it's hard to get to the level of success that you have achieved. And I can imagine you'll even see more. But what's your best advice to someone who might be where you were 5 years ago or 4 years ago?
So it's funny because my dad always said, he'll always tell me, like, you have a golden horseshoe up your butt. And I'm like, no, actually, it's work, right? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of dedication. It's a lot of time management. It's a lot of putting in those, sleepless nights to get something done or to learn a new skill and to, really hone in on something that you're passionate about. And so for me, right, like I don't think luck is part of it. I mean, I think it's a small part of it, but I think the work that you put into something, you'll see those results
Yes,
with
what you
put
get
in.
out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So Lisa's saying, I wish I could use candles, but something about them gives me a headache. She can use incense. And then Linda's asking, are your scents hypoallergenic? Do you have incense? Do you have other products? I know you have some other things.
Flameless options.
That maybe people can use.
So we don't have incense, but I will tell you that a lot of customers that we have that are repeat customers will say, my husband's head always hurt when I would use Glade products or the plugins or when I did this or that or when I burned this candle from this company. But we use yours and we don't have those headaches anymore. And so I think it all comes back down to the clean ingredients, like what you're putting in there and what you're inhaling. All goes hand in hand.
So how did you, once you kind of figured out that you wanted to do this, you started to get your routine down and your formulas down, how did you then kind of get it out to the masses? Because I think that is another huge hurdle. You figured out your business plan, what you want to do, but then how do you make that next step to now start selling?
Sure, that's a great question. So like for me personally, I could never go onto a website and buy a candle without smelling it. Like I want to know what it smells like before I buy it. And so we do a ton of markets in the East Valley. We're also at Sky Harbor International Airport.
That's cool.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's a good one for us. And we're also at Sweet Creek Boutique, which I know you're
yes,
familiar with.
We're actually going to be live there Saturday because they have a big Mother's Day event coming up. Yeah.
So we're there. So there's places people can go. Wrapped with Ribbon, also in Gilbert. So there's places people can go and smell our products. Also, our website's always up to date with upcoming events that we have, so you can always check and see where we're going to be in the community. But that's been a great place where we meet customers, where they can actually smell and touch and see our stuff, and then they're repeat customers, so they're always coming back to the website.
So we have Bo Jackson asking, how do you create the scents? Are they pressed into the oils? And how do you take it from there? I can tell you, and I was shocked by this, and you may have been too, when I walked into your house, you have a room. And I said, this is where you make your candles. You said, this is where I make my candle. I thought it was going to be like this huge production. These are really, really like clean candles.
Yes, so everything's done in small batches. So we have a 45-pound melter that we put all of our wax flakes in, melts our wax to the right temperature. We then pour it into small pitchers, which we add our fragrance to, and we'll stir. So that's how we bind them. The fragrances? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so we add the oils to the wax, stir it. And then we have a process for letting it sit, and then once it's to the right temperature, right, again, back to the whole science thing that is very difficult, we pour. So we pour 6 candles at a time with each pitcher of wax that we do. So
but this is all hand done too.
It
so
is.
This is time consuming as well.
It is, yes.
And you have to let them sit for a while before you're actually able to move them.
Are you ever worried that the kids will run in? I know you have a dog too, and like knock all the jars over.
No, so I'm not worried about that. But one time my handle was down on my wax melter when my melter was empty, and I didn't realize it. And so when I filled it up to melt a new batch, it was all coming out.
Oopsie.
And my daughter actually discovered it. So I was like, oh my gosh, like if you wouldn't have saw that like right away, this would have been really, really bad. So
The
we
whole
caught it
room
at a
would
good
have
time.
been filled with wax.
Yes, and it would have been very difficult to clean up. So.
Bo Jackson's asking an interesting question.
Is this Bo Jackson, the athlete?
Yes, probably.
Okay.
Let's just go with that.
Let's go with it. He's going to buy a lot of your candles.
He says scent selection. How do you do it? And that was my other question I was going to ask you, is because, I mean, you have such a wide range of in your line. How do you kind of come up with trying and the trial and error, and do you have like a little smelling panel?
Those are my kids.
Those are your
so
kids?
They will tell me what they like and what they don't like. No, so we have a classic collection, which we have all year round, which we based on how products sell. So if something's a very good selling scent, we will keep that around in our classic. But then we always introduce a spring or summer collection. We have a fall collection, and we have a winter collection to get some of those like Christmas scents or those, like fire and leaves type fall smells. So a lot of trial and error, like you mentioned, like how does the scent smell in the wax, or how does it smell in a room spray? Those types
I like
of
this
things.
one. What's this one?
Sunwashed.
Sunwashed.
Yeah, that's a
so it's
good
got
one.
cotton blossom, musk, and orange.
I'm destroying your beautiful. These are really fun.
Yeah, so those are actually one of our most popular items. Those are our car diffusers. So those hang in your mirror, and the scent will come up and absorb through the wood after you tip it over. And then anytime you want to refresh your car, you just tip it back over.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, Anita.
You're welcome.
Someone's asking,
He needs one.
I got dogs in there, okay? I transport dogs.
I'm kidding.
Ooh, I like this one too. Lemon
Oh,
verbena.
Amy, Isabella Fredrickson wants to know
Did you see what I just did?
No.
I just sniffed the mic instead of this. It's been a long week, Amy.
It's been a long week and a long day.
Happy Friday.
What is your favorite scent that you make and that you sell?
Or is that hard to decide?
No, it's not hard. So since the beginning, we have one scent that has been around since day one, and that I refuse to get rid of, because when my house is a mess, which it is often with kids, dog, business, work, husband, all the things. Lemon verbena. I always come back to that one.
Oh, that's the one I like.
It's
it was right.
lemon
right here.
verbena. Very clean and fresh. It just smells like I have it in my kitchen all the time. It just smells like a clean.
It smells like cleaning
space.
stuff.
Just clean.
You just stole that one. We'll Venmo you. We'll Venmo you. Let's talk about your line. So we just talked about the candles. Anita showed off this cool thing, the diffuser for your car. What else do you have?
So room sprays. Yep. So these can be used obviously in any room. You can even use these in your car if you wanted to. Bed linens. Absolutely. Yeah. Bed linens. Anywhere that you want to freshen up a space, right? Also made of clean ingredients.
No, I don't want to. Well, I mean,
It smells really good.
I don't want to get it in my face.
Oh, that smells really good. What's that?
Baja cactus blossom.
Oh,
That's a good one.
That's
Yeah.
a very good one.
Ooh,
It's a good room spray.
Oh,
smells like good enough to drink almost.
Please don't.
Okay.
It smells very clean. Oh, yes. This is Husky Mom is bringing this up. Thank you, Husky Mom. The tea to tea donations.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yes, big part of what we do and why we do what we do, right? So when we lived in Illinois, we heard about a state trooper that was killed in the line of duty, and Tunnel to Towers Foundation came in and paid off the mortgage for his widow. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's incredible. Like what a relief for her and her kids. And I come from a law enforcement family. My dad's a retired Illinois state trooper. My sister works for the state police. My brother-in-law is also in law enforcement. So that means something to us, right, seeing this. And so when I started this, I reached out to them and said, hey, we're starting this company. Can we, use your name and give you a portion of our sales? And within a day, I had a contract back from them, and they said, absolutely, like, we'd love for you to do that. And so since 2020, we've been able to raise over $75,000 for them. And
That's
just
huge.
the things that they do and provide for our veterans and first responders is incredible. And we are so grateful to be a part of that and being able to help in a small way.
So a portion of all the sales from every single year are donated to this.
Every year. Yep.
Foundation.
We got about a minute left. Give us your website one more time so folks can find you.
It's www.mccandleco.com.
All right, we'll put it on.
And will you be anywhere like today or tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, for Mother's Day.
Yes, this weekend we are actually at Vintage and Vino. So it's off Riggs at the Equestrian Center. So today until 8, and then tomorrow, I'm not sure the hours, but it is on my website today and tomorrow.
And then you sell on your website, you have the local locations where people can pick it up if you can't
Correct.
ship.
Yep. So we do ship for a flat rate, but we also have local locations where you can pick up as well.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming in, and we love to support local business. So go out there if you need a candle.
Well,
you know where to go.
Or
a spray, or a car thingy. Since you said my car smells, Anita, I might need to buy one of those from you.
I just said I've been in your car.
She did say. Basically, that's inferring that my car. You're inferring that I have a smelly car.
I love you.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and in 2 minutes, we're gonna continue the fun right here on Fox 10 Talks.
Cookies coming up. Cookies. More sweet treats. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome.
Q.
Welcome back.
There you go.
Welcome back. I don't know. I don't want to introduce. Everyone knows you're Jasmine Garcia. You're our managing editor, but you have an Instagram handle. I'm not saying it.
I'll say it.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Are we allowed to say it?
I don't know. I think we should be safe. We were told and say.
Okay.
Just
it's
not
the
word.
baking bee, but if you want to find her on Instagram, it's the actual word. But and I'm not saying this because she's our manager.
He's not.
And I'm not saying this because she's sitting right next to me.
He's not.
These cookies are some of my favorite cookies
Dave, have you tried one of these cookies?
Dave, come in here.
Take a
Come
bite.
on, Dave.
Dave is our producer. Take a bite.
Okay, we got to get a reaction.
Like breaks his tooth.
No, you take it.
Don't put it back, Dave. Now you tainted it.
He double dipped.
I made these specifically on your request.
I know you did because these. Okay, so what are these?
Wait, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
It's National Have a Cookie Day, which is why you're here, Make with Cookies.
Yes.
Not just because we love you. So if you would like a cookie, go out and get one because
Jeff, do you want a cookie? Come on
come
in.
and get a cookie.
Look, as soon as we bring cookies in here, all of a sudden,
everybody's
loves showing up.
What's your secret?
For my cookies, love.
But
Oh,
That's
Jasmine.
a crock.
I know.
Oh.
But Jasmine,
Stress.
Okay, that I believe.
Why did you start baking though?
It actually is my stress reliever.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would help me close my brain off, just do something fun.
Have you always baked?
Yeah, my mom and I always baked when I was little for Christmas, for different birthdays. My grandma was big on baking, so.
You guys might remember Jasmine was on the Friday before Easter, and she made these really cute little confetti Easter eggs.
That we smashed. We made a huge mess in here.
We made a huge mess, but my mom's a baker, and I like to bake as well. I don't feel like I do cookies well. You gave me your chocolate chip cookie recipe, and it turned out nothing
like hers.
See, but you are kill it with cakes, and I can't do cakes. I like
So
burn them or they're raw. I brought one in one time in the middle. It was raw, and the producers were so nice. They were like,
It's okay.
so that was the end
So
of
we
that.
should open a bakery.
Yeah.
Ty
Okay,
can be the taste tester.
I will be.
He'll be
happy.
the face of the bakery.
I will
We need funding. Can you be our funder?
Well, we'll see.
He's our sugar daddy.
How much do you need?
He's our sugar daddy.
But no, I'm not kidding. You could make money on those because those are some really good cookies.
I've thought about it, but then I feel like it'll take the fun out of it.
It
You know
takes
what?
the
You're
stress
probably
relief
right.
out of
Yeah,
it.
because then you have to do it. And now with my little baby, there ain't
It's
no
tr-
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, can you
Tips?
give us some tips and tricks?
Yes.
And are you willing to share your recipe, or is it secret?
No, it's not a secret. I pick a lot of recipes off Pinterest. I'm not like a
But
made
do
from
you-
scratch, but I tweak it
That's what I
sometimes.
was gonna say, yeah.
And I'm also impatient, so
Same.
The easiest recipe.
Yeah, when the
Okay.
when the recipe says like let the butter get to room temperature, I just throw that in the
microwave.
microwave.
Yeah,
I don't have
okay.
time, and it's like refrigerate the dough for 3 hours. Ain't
I don't
nobody
have
got
time
time
for
for
that.
that.
nobody has time
So
for
I
that.
just skip all that, and they're still delicious. You still eat them.
What's in
Yeah,
these
I do.
cookies?
This one is really easy. Flour, brown sugar, regular sugar.
I need to hold one up, and I'm going to
white
do
chocolate chips and sprinkles.
Okay, so look, there it is. I
They're
mean,
like
look
the
at that.
size of my face. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Well, I do like to make them big and thick. So
yeah,
I
and chewy.
use this big ice cream scoop
Okay.
to make sure that you get the perfect
You do the
size.
whole scoop?
Yeah. And then so this is them frozen. And you can make them ahead of time and freeze them. So sometimes I do
yeah.
that, and then we'll just pop them in the oven if we need a sweet treat.
So how many little dough balls do you get out of a?
I doubled this recipe and I got like 16. So sometimes for the newsroom I have to like
So you have
triple
to
it
bake
or
a lot.
quadruple it.
Yeah.
So thank you to my dad. He got me a big old KitchenAid last Christmas.
Oh, those come in handy.
Yeah, and that really
Do you
helps.
find yourself? And I'm totally serious here. Do you find yourself baking less because egg prices went up and all that, or?
No, it's
Okay.
just something that I enjoy. Thank goodness Costco has bulk.
They
And
do.
Yes.
I will say it was under $5 for 18 eggs last Friday.
yeah.
at
Oh,
Costco.
really?
Yeah.
Yesterday I got some for $5.14. So.
I think they were like
bad.
$4.49. Someone is asking, is Sherry Nevada Pup, do you bake keto?
I don't
And
even
what
know what
is
keto means.
Yes.
Oh.
and what is your favorite cookie you've ever made?
I do bake keto. I did keto for a really long time before I got pregnant.
Talk about what keto is.
It's low carb and low sugar, and so there's
But
a lot of
doesn't sound like
alternatives.
That sounds like no
No,
fun.
but you use like almond flour or like monk fruit sweetener.
Okay.
Or it's good for people who have like diabetes if you're not dieting.
Okay.
So I made some cookies. I brought them in once back like in 2020.
And we probably ate them, probably didn't even know.
Yeah,
they were
we didn't
keto.
know.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
I've done
really
some
good.
baking with the almond flour, and I really like it as well.
Yeah.
It just adds a little. Sometimes I put pudding in my
Yes,
mixes. I
that
feel like that
helps.
adds a little bit. What is
Yeah.
this?
So that is something that I do not recommend. So we were going to toss that out, trash that.
I'm not going to throw it though because it'll make
I
a
think
mess.
a lot of people advertise those, and I don't like the way they bake. So I was going to tell people, don't waste your money on that. Just get parchment paper. I think that helps keep like the crispness at the bottom.
Okay.
These says you can reuse them like 3 times. I don't because
It's
yeah.
it's
But
time
you
consuming.
can if you wanted to save some money. But they're already pre-cut.
Oh, so
it's
that's
just
the easiest
handy
thing.
dandy. You put them on your baking tray,
And you're good
there
to go.
You can
So,
even do portions with that.
parchment paper, scooper, flour, sugar. You got it.
You're a mom too.
I am.
We have Mother's Day facts. Do you
Yeah.
wanna
Well, I was
share
going to do
some?
like a little. I was going to do a quiz. You want to
Hey,
do
don't
a
forget
quiz?
we still have another guest.
I know we have.
Okay.
Don't you? I know.
I don't think Jasmine is going to want to miss this guest.
No. We'll do a quick. We'll do a
Guests.
quick quiz. All right. What percentage of Americans plan on celebrating Mother's Day tomorrow or Saturday, Sunday, whatever day it is?
87%.
Ooh, close. 84. Good. All right.
Very good.
Nice.
On average for this year, now this is all according to the National Retail Federation. I did some research for this, you guys. What is the average that people are going to spend this year on mom?
$300.
Close.
275.
259.04.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Can you name the top 3 things that people are going to be purchasing for mom?
Brunch. Flowers.
Flowers is one.
Spot like health.
They're not going
things.
to gift cards.
No.
They're not going to brunch.
No. Well,
alcohol.
I don't know.
Husband, if you're
Mimosa.
listening, that's what I want.
How about, okay, so 74% said they're going to do flowers, 73% said greeting cards, 61% said special outings. So maybe that's the brunch.
Bo Jackson is asking if you have a favorite baker that you follow.
Yes. Oh God, I don't remember her name, but she's local here to Phoenix, and I follow her Instagram. We'll put it in the chat after
Okay.
I
Okay,
leave here.
fun.
Yeah.
But you can always follow her at the baking bee.
B word.
But
I-
real, you get it.
TCH. Sorry,
Okay.
Mike.
All right,
Well,
Jasmine.
some of you might consider this a sweet treat as well.
All right.
Put the video of the cookies up.
I'm gonna move out of the
No,
way.
you
Oh.
stay. Well,
No,
we got-
this is-
okay.
Okay, so this is
Okay.
this is some cookie
these are
B-roll
Jasmine's
while we do a
cookies.
fancy
Can you sit with
transition
me
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, you're here for comments.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Take a seat. Introduce yourself, sir. Welcome to Phoenix.
Guys, how
you
we doing?
got to get a little closer.
A little bit closer.
Yeah, there
Sorry
you go.
about that, mate.
Would you like a cookie?
I'd love a cookie. That'd
I
be
was gonna
amazing.
say, are
boys.
you guys-
Yeah.
You guys are really fit though. Do you eat cookies?
We love cookies.
It's not going to make you fat,
Tell me
guys.
these
Come
aren't
on.
the best
This is how we
cookies.
get in shape.
I did hear you
with
say these are
cookies,
keto. Is that right?
No.
those are not
no,
keto.
These are the
they're
real
not
deal.
keto.
Full fuel.
Full fuel.
Yeah. Okay, I want
Full-
one.
Oh my
Ty,
God.
you look
Cheers.
just like these guys.
I really do.
Yeah.
Like, can we do show
I
some
think
biceps?
they have an open spot this weekend.
That's really good.
Aren't they good?
Rehearsals today. These are so good.
Oh my God, I'm not allowed this much
Get on these
sugar.
guys. Get
Wow.
on 'em.
Very
This
nice.
is Australia's very own Thunder from Down Under. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Welcome
you,
to Phoenix.
You're performing this weekend?
We are. We've got 4 massive shows happening actually at Talking Stick Resort. I think 7 p.m., 9 p.m. tonight, same times tomorrow. There are some tickets still available, but they are selling out very, very fast.
It's Mother's Day tomorrow, and I'm just wondering.
Oh.
Sunday, sorry. I
This
thought it was.
weekend, it's close enough.
Yeah, I'm flustered.
Yeah, Anita's not paying any attention to what's happening.
You gentlemen get a little crazy on stage, yes?
We try to, yeah.
How do your How do your moms feel
My
about
mum's
you?
been to the show and
My mum's
she
been
loved
5 times,
Mum-
yeah.
Most
Sorry, I'll get a bit
of our
closer.
families have come to the show. Look, we're not too raunchy, we're not too vulgar. We like to get up and have fun more so than try and be the sexiest thing in the world. Obviously, we try and be sexy, but that's not our main goal.
I don't think you guys have to try very hard.
very
I'm just
tasty,
going to
yeah.
go ahead and say that for everyone. I'm going to go ahead and say that for all the 30 people in the room and watching.
Okay, by the way, we've been doing the show for like 2 months now.
No
we
one
have
has ever
never
come
had
out.
a studio audience.
And I
All
can
these
come,
eyes
there,
on us
there
now.
are more people behind the glass,
Yeah.
and there are more people in the newsroom watching as
Well,
well.
if they do want to come and check it out, talkingstickresort.com, where other tickets are available.
Okay.
Like I said, we do have some still available. They are selling out extremely fast. You don't want to miss out, though. It's a great time.
So you can't stop.
No, I was
You
just-
just-
I'm trying to
I
hold
couldn't believe
back
that
a
you
little
put it
bit.
down. How did you guys get into this
Yeah, that's
career?
Oh, I think everyone's got a bit of a different story. I'm actually the host. I'm the MC of the show. So for me, my pathway was a little bit different. Come from a bit of a different background. I'm actually an electrician by trade. So Dan's I'm a carpenter by
I'm a
trade
chippy,
as
yeah.
well.
Well, you're what?
Build a chippy.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
a
chippy?
chippy.
Yeah, we call it a
Chippy.
chippy.
A
Australia.
chippy.
Chippy.
Wood chips,
I,
I guess.
I love that.
We
Is
bring
that
that
what
everything
every
is-
builder is called, or is that your nickname on stage?
No, it's just what
Chippy.
we refer to as carpenters in Australia.
Oh, I love
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The reason I'm here is actually following the Mother's Day theme is because my mum told me to come and join Thunder. So
How's that for a good mother?
I love
She's
that.
very
Supportive.
proud of
Yeah.
you, isn't she?
Absolutely,
That's
she is.
right.
Do you guys ever get stage fright? Or is at first, or are you like...
Speaking for me personally, no. More excitement, anticipation. Yeah, there is a little bit of nerves sometimes, but we do quite some big crowds. We can do 2,000 to 3,000 people in a room.
Wow.
So that anticipation, that energy is quite big. But I wouldn't say stage fright, so to speak. The guys are professionals. A lot of work goes into our show.
Yeah.
We are a professional production.
Yeah.
We're not just up there having a good time. We are having fun.
Yes.
But a lot of
It's
work
all
goes into what we do.
choreographed. There's
Yeah,
a lot
correct.
There's a lot of
A
practice.
lot of moving parts, and we do take it seriously. We take a lot of pride in what we present. But at the end of the day, it is a good time. We're there to have fun, and we want the audience to have fun. And I won't give too much away, but I haven't heard too many bad comments.
Okay,
yeah.
we have Sherry. She's one of our viewers that is always watching. She says, we went from cookies to eye candy. Oh, my. Can you give Sherry a shout out?
I told you guys there would be
Sherry.
sweet treats
Sherry,
for
I
Mom.
think you should probably get out tonight, 7 or 9 p.m. or tomorrow night. Come and check out the boys. Get the real deal. A little
Did
bit
you hear
better
that,
than the,
Sherry?
How long
cookie
is the show?
experience. So typically it goes from anywhere from 90 minutes to a little bit over, it depending on a few aspects. But
What are those
that's
aspects? If the crowd is behaving?
I can't give those details away on TV. No.
Go on.
So some of the things that can sort of drag the show on a little bit longer is we do like to get everyone up on stage, get a photo with all the guys.
Improving a little.
Yeah,
correct.
depending on the size of the room, there can be anywhere from like tonight's I think around about 400 all the way up to 2,000. That's a very big discrepancy on how many people come up and get on with a photo on stage.
Favorite city that you've performed in?
Oh, that's a tough
Don't forget that you're in Phoenix.
Don't
I'm just-
forget.
You guys
look,
travel all
Talking
over.
Stick Casino Resort, probably the best ever. No, I'm being seriously. It is an amazing venue here tonight. I've been here a few times now. I haven't done a bad show here. It's always a good time. Look, typically everywhere is a little bit different. We do a lot of international as well.
Yeah.
I think I did about 14 countries last year
Whoa.
with the
Because
company.
everybody wants to watch men dance.
Well, exactly right. Yeah,
Australian
that's what they
men
say
dance.
anyway.
30 seconds. Jasmine, do you have any questions for the
No,
gentleman?
I'm just gonna say I'll trade you cookies for a ticket.
Oh!
I tell you,
Jasmine said she's going to trade cookies
something
for
out,
a
yeah.
ticket in case anyone...
we're gonna need a year's supply.
Oh, there you go.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for stopping
thank you for
by
having
and
us.
chatting with
We
us.
love it.
Tickets on website or Talking Stick?
TalkingStickResort.com is
Okay.
where the tickets are available, or you can go to @ThunderVegas on
Okay.
Instagram. All our information will be on there as well.
Jasmine's back.
Jasmine's already
you
on
guys
the
have
computer.
a standing invitation
seconds.
every Friday.
All right.
Fantastic.